Hey, how it's going, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you that how we are extending the medical LLM project that we started in the previous video. I remember, in the previous video, let me share up my screen. Okay, you can see it here, right? We were talking about Mid-Gemma LLM, Doctors Meet Your AI Assistant. That was the title of the video, right? Now, MedGemma is a Google model, which is a medical LLM, which is a medical VLM rather. It's a multimodal model, so it understands media files, images, frames, and whatnot, right? Now, in this video, we're gonna extend that because there we used a tool called LM Studio. Right, we use this tool, right? LM Studio, and I've shown you how to download a model on LM Studio and how to basically ask some questions, right, about a medical image, right? Finding out some anomalies or finding out what's really happening, within that particular given image. Now, how can we use it programmatically is something that I'm going to extend, and this is going to be a playlist, guys. Where we're going to create some tools that's can get leveraged by the AI agents. So we're going to have tools like, passing us some context. So we're going to create some knowledge base or some kind of rag for the given medical reports or a patient profiles and whatnot, right? And then we're going to have some kind of finding out similar cases if that's available on the open internet. So those kind of things we're going to do in the future video. But let's say you have these model mid-gemma 4b instruction tuned. How can we leverage that programmatically in our application? So we have something called developer over here, right? Now if you look at here, you have to first start your server. In your case it would have been stopped because you have never probably done that. Start your server and load a model. Here you can see I have a couple of models. I already have loaded this model called MedGemma 4B instruction tuned model, which is ready to, get invoked or ready to be used by your agents, right? It's a vision enabled model. You can see it here. Its architecture is based on Gemma 3 and it's a quantized model. And thus this local server is reachable at this address. Now what it does, guys, it basically helps you leverage the model as an API endpoint, right? So basically we are self-hosting this model locally open source, so we are not kind of relying on any cloud providers, in that case. And these are the API endpoints that we can use, and they are like OpenAI compatible. These are like based on OpenAI SDKs, right? Now that's how it works. Now if I go back here, right, if you see here, we have this very simple interface. This will get evolved, right? Basically, we're going to have those tools. We're going to have some kind of extracting entities, finding out the trace like priorities, and getting some kind of research case studies or references based on this given analysis. We're going to have some kind of rag on top of it. So this project will get involved. Now the beauty of this is that you can also upload DICOM images. If you are somebody who is working in this medical field, you probably know better than all of us, if you are already a domain expert, that in when you're working with hardware or devices in the medical fields like MRI machines or CT scans or even different machines that we use, those basically creates or generates DICOM images. That's the extension of type format for medical images in general. So you can also upload your DICOM images directly. You do not have to probably only upload JPEG or PNG. Now if you look at here on the interface, it says question for analysis. Describe what you see in this image and highlight any abnormalities. And you can see it over here, the analysis result. This is the image that we have uploaded. Looks like a spinal cord, in my views. I'm not an expert. Maybe you can tell us better. And you can find out the analysis result over here. It says the image shows a T2 weighted MRI of the thoracic spine. I don't know how we pronunciate it, but the vertebral bodies appear normal in signal intensity. There are no obvious acute fractures, dislocations, or significant soft tissues abnormalities, right? However, without clinical context, that's where the clinical context comes up. We can pass some information, the patient profiles, right, to basically empower these agents. And that's what we're going to do, right, with this model. Patient's age symptoms, it is difficult to definitively rule out subtle degenerative changes or other pathologies. Possible abnormalities, degenerative disc disease. You can see subtle disc space narrowing, signal intensity changes within the intervertebral disc could be present but are not readily apparent on the single image. Spinal stenosis. If there is a history of back pain or neurogenic claudication, spinal stenosis should be considered. Next steps, if appropriate. Correlations with clinical symptoms and patient history, the data which resides in medical, softwares, EHR, EMRs, or patient management systems. Consider additional imaging sequences like T1 weighted and HTIR for better visualization of soft tissues and subtle changes. If there is a high suspicion for spinal stenosis or other pathology, consider a dedicated MRI protocol tailored to the specific concern. And we have some disclaimer to make sure that these are not making decisions. They are not making any diagnosis. They should do either differential or they are just helping the radiologist or clinicians, to kind of uh, help them become more productive or efficient kind of a thing, right? And you can download this file also. You can download it, the results. You can copy it. So this is how we have built it. I'm going to show you how we can do it. And if you look at the backend runs on this. It's called Radiology AI Assistant API, and we're gonna, of course, make some tools and all that's gonna get appear here. On the tools, we can see we have DICOM processing, we have image analysis, we have image access, we have direct analysis. We have all of these that are being used by the AI agents, to kind of come up with these outputs. For now, we have right now this, but we're not gonna have a lot of things over here. Now, if you look at how are we doing it? So if you see this LM Studio tool and we are using this, we have self-hosted the model and we are using it programmatically. So how can we use it? So the way of using it through their SDKs. They have two different SDKs. One is Python SDK and the other is JavaScript SDK. For people who are not that Python savvy, they can use JavaScript if they're good on the full stack side, right? And this is how you can use it. Let me show you the code a little bit on how I've done it, right? So let me just show you. Now, if you look at the main.py file, we are just installing LM Studio. So these are all the installation that you have to do. We have LM Studio, we have PyDICOM. PyDICOM is used to convert the DICOM to JPEG. And then we have NumPy Fast API. We want to build the APIs, then a Pydantic for data validations, Streamlit for, if you want to build a Streamlit application. And these are the stuff which you are using it for DICOM support and multipart for uploading files. So if I go to main.py, in the main.py, this is how you do. You first import the LM Studio SDK. I'm printing the version. And after printing the version, I am loading this model, lms.llm. This is the model we are using by Google, which is an open source model. And then I'm passing an image path. I'm showing you first how you can use it on any file, and then I will go to the backend APIs. You can pass an image path. You can prepare the image for the inference. You can see I'm using a system prompt. System prompt is really important, guys, for these kind of use cases. And then I give a chat here, lms.chat. It says, what is your opinion about this image? And then basically you just print out. This is how you can use these SDKs, right? Now, you can just run it, but let me show you the APIs that I have built. So this is what we have done. We have a very simple specification for the fast API. Fast API is basically helps you build Python microservices, helps you build scalable APIs and so on and so forth. You can see the title, the description, the versions, the doc. I'm giving some middleware, some calls, cross origin for making sure that it securely access our front end and databases. And then we have some static files. We can have some, this is for later. Right now this doesn't matter, these are fine. We are creating directories. When you upload the image, it gets saved in the upload, and once you upload the DICOM, it has to process and convert it to JPEG, right? So these are two folders that we create, uploads and processed. In real world scenarios, this will be your databases, like, or the collection tables or whatever, right? This will be in database, right? This will not be a local file storage. Now, here we have our initializing the LM Studio model, right? And here you can see our system prompt, the system prompt that we give. And then we have some data validation layers using Pydantic to make sure that we do it that way. We have a health check API, that the APIs are running fine. And then we have an upload DICOM, which is the post request that we are making here, the post endpoint. It takes a file and returns the file ID for future references, because it takes a bit of time maybe, right? And return the file ID. And that you have to take that file ID to give it to the analyze endpoint to kind of get the output, the insights. And pretty similar we are doing. We have some kind of exceptions and stuff, and you can see we can just keep going. These are a few things. And this is what we have seen here. Pretty simple, guys. The idea is to bring tools over on top of this, and as I said, right, this is going to be a playlist. So this is the first video. This is an introductory video on what we are going to build. So we're going to build this radiology AI agent that's going to help radiologists on finding out anomalies, performing segmentations on the given images, doing doing information discovery or finding out similar case studies from PubMed or NCBI or wherever. Okay, whatever we can access it, and a lot of other things that we can do on top of it, finding out priorities and risks and everything on that. So this will follow up in the upcoming video. I will recommend that you watch this video, the previous video, MedGemma on YouTube, right? Go to YouTube channel AI Anytime and watch this video, MedGemma LLM, right? So Radiology AI Assistant, LM Studio, make sure that you have installed LM Studio, it's up and running, and if you want to do that. I think that's all I wanted to introduce you in this video, guys, at how we're going to build Radiology AI Assistant using open source stack, completely open source, no paid APIs and stuff, in this project. Going to be around 4 or 5 videos playlist, uh, completely building a multi-agent system using LM Studio, open source stack. Let me know if you have any feedbacks, thoughts, or if you want me to add anything in this playlist, any kind of tools or tooling. See, I also take care of logs and everything, make sure that we make it a bit production grade, that we're looking at the logging, observability, tracing, monitoring for compliance and governance. We can also do that. So let me know if you need those things as well in the comment box. I think that's all for this video, guys. If you like it, please hit the like icon. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, please do subscribe the channel, guys. That motivates me to create more such videos in the near future. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.